Hey guys, it's Mel again. Today being, like the Valentine's weekend, and for some of you, if you're going to be literal and do it tomorrow, today is going to be the last day to go out there and think about what are you going to do for Valentine's Day. Now, this one, look, predominantly is going to be for the guys. However, I think girls, you really need to take note because, quite frankly, you can do half of this stuff too. So I'm going to do it in two different ways. Not two different ways, I'm going to give you two lots of golden tips. Firstly, I'm going to cover how to do amazing dates that will stick in the girl's memory for a bloody long time and do it on the cheap. And then I'm going to give you a hidden golden nugget in regards to buying stuff if that's what you actually want to do. So first thing, I want to talk about my memorable dates. I'm going to cover 4 different ones. And when I say memorable, I'm going to say, guys, if you take these tips, things are going to be very memorable. So I'm going to do the first date. Now, the first one, I met the person before and he was a tradie and I was a photographer at the time. And what actually was happening, hi Richard, what actually was happening was, I always saw clients after hours. And so what he actually did is he knew I'd be really, really tired but really, really hungry. And this was our first real date. We'd met, but this was our first real date. So what he did is he came to my house and he brought me lasagna and a chocolate muffin, and I don't eat chocolate muffins, but I ate it anyway. And he thought about the fact that, hey, she's going to be tired and hungry, I'm going to do this for her. But what he also did, which was hysterical and I loved, is he went into his next door neighbour's garden and he picked a bunch of flowers and came over with a little posy. So that cost him nothing to do, literally, because he flogged the flowers out of someone's garden. But what happened was, only about, I think it was a day or so later, so we had a great night. We sat up all night chatting because he'd taken away the time that I would have had to invest in cooking. And so we got to spend time together. And then what happened was, I had a really freaking shit day at work, or I was having a shit day at work. And when I came home, there was a bunch of flowers at the front door with a note. Now, he hadn't thought of the note until he got there. He just thought, I want to do something nice just because. Now, remember this just because this is something you guys need to take note of. And he wrote on a scrap piece of paper, and he wrote, even though you're blue, I'm still thinking of you. Now, when I say scrap piece of paper, that's what it was, and it has left an impression on me. So this was a cheap date, or a couple of dates, and even though, yes, he did buy the flowers this time instead of stealing them, it was what he wrote that made a massive, massive difference in the thought that counted. Now, the next one was a date where he came to collect me to go out on a date, and we had a couple of drinks, and as I was finishing up my day, and you know what, we enjoyed talking so much in an environment where we didn't have to scream and yell at each other that, we ended up deciding to stay in. But while we did our menu log ordering, we ran down the street and we grabbed some more alcohol. Now, we ended up spending the night laughing. We listened to the kind of music that we wanted. We got up and we danced together in my lounge room. When was the last time that you have got your woman up and danced in the lounge room? Whether that's a first date or you've been together for 30 years. Trust me, if you want to do something that's very memorable, that worked. But what was the most memorable part of that night, other than the fact that we laughed a hell of a lot and we had a lot of fun and we didn't talk about work or anything like that, was that 2 days later, I'd had a shitty phone call and I was like, oh my God, I want a drink. So I was like, no, have a cup of tea. So I opened up my cupboard of where my tea bags are, and I noticed something sitting on the top of my electrical box, and I picked it up and I went, what the hell is this cork doing there? And he'd left the cork from that night with a little message on it telling me thanks for a lovely night, and he's even written the date on it so I remember exactly when it was. Now, this cork still stays in my cupboard because every time I have a shitty day and I do the same thing and I go to make myself a cup of tea and I see it, I love it. This cost nothing, but it's extremely memorable. I'm an outdoors person and I really love nature. So on a first date with someone, and yes, I'd met him before, but it was our first proper date, he took me rock climbing. Now, rock climbing, not indoors in your gym. No, 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 no. We did the proper outdoors where he went up, put the pieces in, and I went up and took the pieces out. Now, that was an amazing day because one, he knew that I love nature and I loved a little bit of adventure. But two, what he also knew was the fact that, this was a great communication. All right. And it was a big trust building. So if you notice that through these 3 dates so far, they haven't cost you anything, but this is about communication. It's about connecting. It's about listening, and it's about trust. And all of those things are free. But if you can think outside the box of what a normal conventional date would be, whether it's a new date or it's a date that actually you would do later, this stuff is gold, guys. And I've still got the climbing gear from that date. And in fact, we saw each other for quite a few years. And the men I'm talking about are the men that impressed me so much by these dates from normally it was the second time that I'd actually been around them, that these are things that, and I'm not a nostalgic person, but I've kept these in my life. And let me tell you, these stories are stories that go back as far as nearly 20 years. So that's just how much impact that they've actually had on me. The other thing about nature that I love is I love stargazing. So, fish and chips on the beach, or take a picnic down the beach, or just walk down the beach late at night, or go into a paddock, lay down and stargaze together. And, it's really quite amazing. And again, it's free. Now, for you guys that are saying, oh, no, I think I need to get something. Well, if you've got a partner and you've had a baby and she's pushed out a watermelon or 2 or 3, let me tell you, get her something this Valentine's Day. But here is the golden nugget that I want to teach you guys about how to buy a present for a woman and not screw it up. It's very simple. So you're ready? Are you listening? Because what you need to know is these words. If it doesn't make her look good, smell good, or feel good, do not, and I'm very adamant here, do not buy it for her unless she specifically requested it. And it needs to be a nice firm request, because, if you go and buy her on her birthday or on Valentine's Day a freaking something for the kitchen, it doesn't get any more offensive than that. So what you're saying is that's your perception of her. Okay, so unless she specifically nagged you, I really want this, fine. But I normally would suggest that's a present that you should be buying on a special occasion. That's something that you should do as a just because, and that you're thinking of her and you go, oh, she really wanted that blender or that Thermomix, and so you're going to go off and buy it for her and give it to her as a non-event just because present. So guys, if it doesn't make her look good, feel good, or smell good, do not freaking ever buy it. Going into those 3 things, they're things like perfume. Okay, so you've got 1 or 2 choices with perfume, either by the scent that she likes or she's mentioned she's liked. So, for me, I posted Marc Jacobs Decadence, and it's a really pretty purse. It smells freaking amazing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm nuts about this. You go and get something like that because she's made a comment about it. So you need to start the listening skills. Or buy a perfume that you'd love to smell on her, because there's nothing sexier than when a guy comes up to snuggle up to you and he's like a little sniffer dog, sniffing you and go, oh my God, you smell so amazing. For us, it makes us giggle, but it makes us feel amazing that you want to sniff us and get that close to us. So it's quite a sexy thing. Buy shoes, handbags. You can never go, pretty much can never go wrong with jewelry, especially if there's diamonds involved. All women love diamonds, but you don't have to go to that extreme. And if you're not sure in regards to when you're buying these items, go black. Okay, because all women have black in their cupboard. So black purse, black bag, black shoes, make sure that what you're getting, you think about them. So if they're a woman that, doesn't wear loud colors like me, don't go getting her something bright, freaking pink, orange, or yellow. Okay, I would look at it and go, okay, obviously this person doesn't know me very well, okay? So if you think about what she wears and what she does and go along that. If she is a bright person and loves to wear color, buy her something with color. But if you're unsure, play it safe, go black. Okay. Funnily enough, Richard, who actually was on the call, is somebody that I've had this discussion with when I lived overseas, and we're talking about presents, and I was like, oh my God, I've been brought the third present in a row that was just, I was like, do you even know me? And we'd been together about 10 years. So I was just like, what the, so, and I got practical presents, or I got jewelry. Felt you wear, I wear delicate jewelry. Don't go buying me something that's chunky. So guys, this is all about listening and connecting and building trust, and that's all part of all of it. So with the dates, you can keep it simple. So think outside the box, listen and ask questions about what that person likes. If they're a really active person and you're going on a new date, why don't you ask them out for a walk? So we've got Albert Park Lake here, and that's what a guy did with a girlfriend of mine. He asked her, let's go on a nice long walk in the morning, and they went really early, because that suits their personality types, and then they went for breakfast. That worked for her, and it was fabulous, and it was a cheap date, but it leaves a massive, massive impression. And guys, if it doesn't look good, smell good, or feel good, do not buy it for her at all. So I hope that helps you, the tips of what to do for Valentine's weekend. Go out there and have a great time. And guys, listen, learn, life will change. Good luck. Bye.